I'm Morgan Miller. I'm from Teays Valley, West Virginia, and I am an apparel designer for Victoria's Secret. I grew up always just making things, drawing, painting, anything. And as I was getting a little bit older, I didn't really know what that meant for me professionally, but I knew that it was the only option for a career. It had to be something creative. I kind of just chose fashion on a whim. Honestly, I knew I liked clothes and I knew that I liked making things, and it just felt like the natural path for me. Pursuing a creative degree felt very confusing and challenging and overwhelming just because no one really talks about it around here, or at least they didn't when I was in school. It was actually one of my art teachers that pushed me and showed me the University of Cincinnati, which is a really incredible design school, and that's where I ended up going. So the University of Cincinnati design program has an incredible co-op program. Every other semester you have an internship. So I was lucky enough to have 5 internships over the course of the 5-year fashion program. My last internship was actually with Victoria's Secret, and when I graduated, they had a full-time position open and they asked me to come back. Moving to New York City when I was 19 years old by myself was so terrifying. It was so scary. I wouldn't take it back for the world, but I definitely wasn't prepared. It's a pretty crazy industry to be in. It's very fast-paced. It can be very overwhelming, but those internships really set me up to and gave me the groundwork to know that before I got into it. My role is assistant designer. I work on the lounge and sport wear, so you know, all your sports bras, leggings, all your cozy, comfy stuff. We're at the Huntington Mall. This was my fashion hub growing up. This is where I got all my clothes. I think this is probably where my curiosity sparked. This Victoria's Secret is where I shopped when I was in middle school, a young girl trying to figure things out. So it's pretty crazy that I'm now on the team that's making creative decisions for them. This is the lounge room, so everything I work on lives in this little space. Sports bras, sweaters, leggings. Sports bras are a really cool thing to work on because they're very technical. So as opposed to like working on this, it's not technical at all. It's like the most simple thing in the world. This has so many like little moving pieces and parts to it, and it's cool to know how many little things go into making something. I spend a lot of time sketching on Adobe Illustrator. There's this term in fashion, it's called a technical flat. So you're basically sketching a piece of clothing, how it would look if it was laid out flat on the floor. So you can see what a garment will look like. We don't see it as anything other than a 2D black and white sketch until our partners in different regions make it for us. There's so many people behind the scenes that it wouldn't be possible without. Victoria's Secret is a big company. So we have a lot of cross-functional partners. So there is a print team who designs our prints for us. We also have a team that works on graphics. So we'll take their graphics and we'll be like, we want to put that on this sweatshirt. And then there's a whole team for color that every season gets to just sit down and pull a color palette together, which is really exciting. And then they pass it over to us and we have the freedom to then choose from that palette and place it into the bodies we want, and just play around with the whole line and make sure everything fits together, make sure the sweatshirts match back to the leggings. So it's just a lot of people working together. I think that's what makes it such an exciting job. It's always evolving and changing anyway. Fashion changes every single day. You can't predict what's gonna happen. Right now we're working on spring 2022. So that gives you an idea of how far in advance we work on something. Right now I'm spending a lot of my days just browsing the internet, looking for what's out there, what's new, what we can make, how we can make things that we already have a little bit different, so that it meets the trends for spring. And that's my favorite part of the job. This is my favorite stage, when we just get to really be creative and find things we love and then present it to people and get that feedback. I think I like the designer role because you kind of get to do a little bit of everything. You get to talk to everyone. You get to get input from everyone. I would say being a West Virginian in New York it's very weird. I don't necessarily have like this thick accent. So when I tell people I'm from West Virginia, they're like, no, you're not. And I'm like, what do you mean? There's a lot of stereotypes around West Virginians, and I get them a lot, people just asking kind of stupid questions to me. I like it when I'm at a job or in an interview and someone asks me, where am I from? And I say West Virginia, and they get this look in their eyes. It's kind of exciting to be like, yeah, I'm from West Virginia. And so are a lot of other people. There's a lot of talent and there's a lot of goodness, and I think we have good hearts, and I just love the people. I really love the people. To any young people that want to work in the creative field, whatever it may be, I feel your pain. I know how many obstacles there are and how little information you're given, but it's really up to you to find where you're meant to be. The job interview process can be very disheartening sometimes. You are gonna probably get rejected quite a bit, maybe not. I've been rejected so many times and it always felt like the end of the world. But if I wouldn't have been rejected one of those times, I probably wouldn't be here. So I'm thankful for the rejection. I think being an introvert, it has its benefits. It can be very hard to feel like you're being seen in such a big industry, in such a big city. It's very easy to feel small or invisible sometimes. I think as I just got more experience and I was able to prove myself and prove my abilities to my peers and my coworkers, it just came naturally. I started standing up a little bit taller in meetings. I started chiming in when I thought maybe there was a better idea, or maybe we could do this. And that's something now that I am completely comfortable with. Experience and practice has been the best thing for me. I don't have this big vision of where I want to be in my career or what I want to do. I just want to find something that I really genuinely love doing and can do every day happily, and that's my biggest goal. But I don't ever see myself not making things.